I'm so pleased to have with us from the Women's Tactical Association, Karen Bartuch and Kim Heath. Karen and Kim, thank you both for coming on the program tonight.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, thank you very much for having us.
Yeah, you bet. So, first of all, a basic question. What is the Women's Tactical Association?
Well, basically, it's a nonprofit association that brings training to female law enforcement. We have 4 key tenets that we focus on: firearms, fitness, tactics, and combat mindset.
Okay, and how long has the association been around?
We've been around since June of 2009, and we just keep growing and growing and growing.
That's fantastic. What was the idea behind this? I mean, what was the impetus, I guess, or the driving thing that got this off the ground?
Yeah, there was a couple different things. I had started to go to training on my own, and I noticed that I was one of a few females. Maybe I'd see Kim once in a while, and I knew there was more of us out there. And then I was involved in an active shooter situation at work, and I found myself not really knowing the best course of action in something like that. And when the SWAT team showed up, they really took control of the situation. And I told myself I was not going to be in that situation again, and I knew I needed more training, and my department couldn't provide it for me. So I took it upon myself to go out and get more training.
Interesting. Now, is this something that you said like you didn't feel like you had the training that you needed at that point? Is this problematic around the country? I mean, we've seen cuts to law enforcement budgets, that I know are resulting in the loss of staff around the country. We haven't really talked that much about what's happening to the training of officers, but
sure, and it's hard for me to speak for other departments.
Sure,
but I will say that it is incumbent upon officers to spend some of their own time and money on training. You cannot rely on your department to give you all of the training that you need. And really, one of the things that we push at the Women's Tactical Association is that specialized training, tactics, SWAT type training is not just for SWAT teams. It's for patrol level also, because if you're responding to an active shooter situation, patrol is really going to be the first units on scene. So they need to have specialized skills as well. I mean, would you agree, Kim, for your department?
Not only my department, but the departments that are local to mine, it seems especially larger departments, it's cheaper for them to pay lawsuits than to pay the yearly cost of training.
Oh, wow.
So rather than pay, if you have a 200 to a 13,000 person, if you have a 13,000 person department or a 1,000 person department, if you look at the training cost to train 1,000 people every year and get their skills up to where they need to be versus just paying off a lawsuit, it's cheaper to pay a lawsuit, unfortunately. And
cheaper, but
yes.
Again, it's not all dollars and cents.
Well,
Right.
to our bosses, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people's lives are on the line. And the way we look at it is that barbers have to go every year for some sort of training, so why shouldn't officers?
Absolutely.
And we kind of tell ourselves that, we owe it to our profession to put a little bit of our own time and money back into it.
Interesting.
And we enjoy doing it.
And so, I mean, again, just in a couple of years, you all have well over 1,000 members. And what are you putting on the training around the country, or what are you helping direct female officers to where they can get this training?
Yeah, it's kind of a mix of both, and we're approaching the 1,500 member mark, and we have members from all over the world. We just had some members join up from Australia,
nice,
which was cool. So we're hoping to go there one day and train. But we kind of have a mix. Kim is definitely one of our main trainers. She's an expert in pistol and rifle, but we bring in trainers from all over the world just to kind of knock out that insulated approach that some departments have. So we bring trainers in from all over, but I would say Kim is one of our top tier trainers.
That's fantastic. And Kim, is there? Clearly there's a demand for this, and clearly there's a need for this.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we can do to try to we the civilians can we try to convince these departments that this is good?
Unfortunately, it takes a tragic situation before people will do anything. Nobody wants to spend money on things if they don't think they need to. So it isn't until something bad happens to somebody that they realize they need to spend the money on it.
Wow.
But I think the reason that our organization is so popular is because if you're not good at shooting left-handed and you go to the range and it's you and there's several other attractive females at the range, are you going to practice shooting left-handed? No, you're not, because you're no good at it and you're going to look funny. So you're going to do what you're most comfortable with.
Right.
So we stress in our training that it's not about being better than the person next to you. It's about leaving better than when you showed up. So as long as your skills are better than they were when you got there that day, that's the important part. And that's one of the first things I say in my classes. It's not about if we get the timer out at the end of the day, and if you can't do the course of fire as quickly or as accurately as a person next to you, that's not important. The important part is that you're faster and you're more accurate and you're better at operating your equipment at the end of the day than you were when you got there. And we stress a real comfortable environment, learning environment. It's not competitive. It's about improving your skills and making you safer, more effective, and a better operator with your equipment that you have to do your job.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that makes perfect sense. I mean, there are lots of places where gun owners can go and take part in competitive shooting, including the National Police Shooting Championships in Albuquerque, New Mexico. But as far as even that is basically at its core training. It's not just about bringing home a trophy. It's about being better than you were before you got there.
And I like to go. The only real competitive shooting I do is the National Patrol Rifle Championship. And there's people. The reason I like it is because there's people of all skill levels. There's obviously the guys who win, and then there's the guys who are at the level where when you have to run the 25 yards back and forth to get your heart rate up, their pistol falls out of their holster during the run. So there's everything in between. But everybody leaves there knowing what their weaknesses are. They know what their strengths are, and they can watch a couple courses of fire go ahead of themselves, so they can learn things from those people. And it's a very helpful environment, as are the classes that we have. If we have SWAT guys show up to our class, that SWAT guy isn't there to show everybody else how good he is or how proficient he is. If he sees the person or she sees the person next having trouble with something, they'll stop shooting to help the person next to him, because it's not an ego thing. It's just all about people are there on their own time and their own money, and they're making the best of what they can get.
Absolutely. And so I guess the next question, Women's Tactical Association, why did you all decide that this was something that you wanted to do specifically for female law enforcement?
Well, there's several state organizations that exist. For instance, we're from Illinois. They have an Illinois Tactical Officers Association. And then most states do have their own. And then there's also the National Tactical Officers Association.
Okay.
And we just weren't really seeing a big presence of females. And so I personally knew that there were more wackos like me out there. So I wanted to bring us together. And, it just was something that was lacking in the industry. So we thought it would be a good place to start. We held our first meeting kind of on a crapshoot.
Yeah.
And, my sergeant gave me some flack about it, said, you're lucky if you have 5 girls there, and I had 30. And so from there, we knew we were on to something. And then, I met up with Kim, and she's really into training. So it was just a great mix at the right time. And we were really trying to change that mindset to bring, women have been in law enforcement for a while. That's not going away. Mm-hmm. But it's really that next step into the specialized training and the tactical community, which has been a little difficult for us. So that's what we're trying to change that mindset.
Well, I mean, it sounds like you all are doing a very good job of that.
Yeah, thanks. It's been a blast.
If there are women out there who are in law enforcement who have not heard of the Women's Tactical Association, who are now interested, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you, and how can you help them? Yeah,
we have a website. It's womenstactical.org, and then we are all over social media. So we have a Facebook page, Women's Tactical Association, on Twitter at Women's Tactical.
All right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And now, what are you all going to be doing out here at the NRA annual meeting? Are you going to be doing any seminars, or are you just going to be enjoying yourself and spreading the word about the WTA?
A little bit of both. Hoping to look at some new toys for our Christmas list. And, we're going to the women's luncheon tomorrow, so I think that'll be a good experience.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Now, this is not your first NRA annual meeting.
It is.
It is?
It is, yeah.
For both of you?
Yes. Yeah, so we're super excited to
Holy
be here.
moly.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. We're loving it.
Well, just get ready, because you're going to have a lot of fun.
I know. I brought my checkbook.
Very, very smart move.
Yes.
Very smart
We're already
move.
eyeing this stuff.
Yeah.
So if anything's missing tomorrow morning.
I like that you're right next to the Leupold and Steiner booth.
I have to say, this is a very prime piece of real estate here. We basically have a 360 degree view here of the entire floor. We got the view over there, and then all the way back down the hall. It's
this is the penthouse.
Yeah. So if you get lost or you need to kind of scout, this is sort of the tree stand. I think you can come up here, you can get a little bit of a bird's eye view and see where you need to go next. Listen, I can't thank you enough for coming on the program tonight. I know it's getting late and you guys are going to be up early tomorrow morning, but please keep us up to date on what you all are doing. I'd love to have you back on, and I think it's a great resource for law enforcement out there. We love our police officers. We want you all to go home safe and sound every night. So
it's good to hear that once in a while.
Well,
yeah, and we're one of the next things we want to do is to start encouraging more civilian females to train with us. So that's on our agenda.
Oh, very, very
Because we get
cool.
requests all the time.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure you do. And so we've got like 2 or 3 minutes. I want to ask you, because it does seem like we're seeing around the country more females becoming gun owners in general.
Yeah.
Are we also seeing more women join law enforcement?
Oh
Yes.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's studies that it's definitely on the rise. It went from I think 1 in 12 to 1 in 8 now.
Wow.
And from my department personally, it's at about 25%. So
That's fantastic.
yeah, the numbers are definitely on the rise.
All right, I'll put you on the spot for this next one. If you can't answer it, I understand. You're both from Illinois. Well, I'm just saying, you may not be able to take a position on something.
Okay.
Where do you all stand on right to carry in Illinois?
I think everybody should have as many guns as possible.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Illinois is terrible as far as that goes.
You
We got to
are-
start lobbying for you.
You are welcome back anytime on this program.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Karen and Kim, thank you again. And really enjoy your time here at the annual meeting. I think you're going to have a great
We're
experience.
super excited.
And I hope that we can maybe check back in with you on Saturday or Sunday. I'd love to get like we've talked to you before.
Yeah,
before
I'd
and
love to
after.
have the after. So maybe
Okay.
you can stop by on Sunday.
Saturday? Saturday.
All
Yes,
right.
absolutely. We'll come in our tack gear too. Scary. We're very
Done.
scary.
Done. All right. Karen Bartucci and Kim Heath with the Women's Tactical Association. Thanks again. Have a great night, and we'll see you soon.
All
It's
right,
our
great.
pleasure.
Thanks so much.